What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, my 4C gang? I give y'all a chance to come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I'm feeling good from my head to my shoes. Don't know where I'm going and I don't know what to do, but I tidied up my point of view. I got a new fucking attitude now. I'll give y'all a chance to come on in here. Let me give y'all a chance to come on up in here. Come on in. Come on in. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? That's you? Oh, y'all gotta hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute, y'all.
And then your Luhanax.
What's up? What's up? What's up, people? I had to take my medication. What is going on, y'all? I'm trying to get in my right mind, y'all. I gotta get my head together. I've been sleeping all day long. And I got lunch, string beans, sweet potato souffle, and barbecue chicken. So to this, I'm gonna add some butter. Put some butter. Okay, y'all, here we go. Here we go. I'm back. I'm back. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, let me say my prayers. Dear Lord, Father God, I thank you, Jesus. I thank you for another day. I thank you for this food, for the nourishment of my body. I just thank you, God. Even when I'm feeling down, Father God, you help me lift my spirits. I can only say that I thank you, and I'm so truly blessed. And I will always tell of your goodness, your grace, and your mercy, how you keep on keeping me in spite of my shortcomings. I thank you. I thank you for all the things that you do for me, Lord. I thank you for always keeping me first when I don't keep you first sometimes. Oh, Father God, I just thank you. I thank you for longevity. I thank you for forgiving hearts. I thank you for a brand new start. I thank you for never leaving me. I thank you for never forgetting about me. I thank you for loving me more than I love myself. I thank you, Lord. In your son Jesus' name I pray. Amen. 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 How y'all doing? Come in and say hi. Let's see what I did to this. I tried to hold on. Gotta put another piece in here. Another butter. I thought I would have a little more sugar over here. Oh, that's a lot better. one more sugar would have been just fine. How are you all doing? Fine, I hope. Mm, I have not been having an appetite. Mm. So, how's everybody doing today? Fine, I hope. So no one can say hi. I see several of y'all in here. Nobody can say hi. You don't say hi to me, I won't say hi to you. How about that? I said this, as y'all can see, I changed my name. Hey, how you doing, Brian? How you doing? Welcome in. I'm not feeling good today. Nothing tastes right. Yeah, it's all right. I feel nauseated. Hey, Shawanda, baby. How you doing? I think I just might eat the sweet potato. So, as my title says, you can't tell everybody everything. Some things you have to keep to yourself. A lot of people think I get up here on here and then I just tell everything. No, there's a lot of things about me y'all don't know. There's a lot of things about me y'all will never know. And if you did know, I wouldn't give a damn, but everybody ain't like that. Sometimes don't tell people your dream, your hopes, and your dreams because you could be blocking your blessings. You could be told the wrong person. Everybody's not happy for your success, but they'll be happy about your demise.
May I have your attention? May I have your attention? We'll be conducting a cold red fire drill. We'll be conducting a cold red fire drill.
Wait a minute, that's my room. No, but yeah, I think back of the 56 years that I've been on this earth and everything God's brought me through. everything. You want a piece of this other extra piece of chicken, Mike?
Okay.
You- Okay, me too. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. I'm blessed and I'm blessed and highly favored. Walking in my purpose. I want to order this pizza, but I would have to make sure somebody's able to go downstairs and get it. Uh-uh. You got to be careful who you tell all your hopes and dreams to, your desires, because some people will pray against you. You got some people that will pray for you. Hey, Miss Smith, how you doing? You got some people that will pray for you and some to pray against you. That's why I ask God to surround me with people that I know got my best interest at heart. And for all y'all, somebody come in and say, "What happened with you and Upward?" Y'all have to watch both videos. Upward and I were never mad at each other. We did that to show resolve and conflict, how to resolve conflict. Because if y'all notice, what we went off on was so petty. What we got mad at each other was so petty. But then we also in the next video showed you how we would have handled that same scenario. And if you cool with somebody, we wouldn't have done it on here. Because like I said, I could be mad at Upward and nobody on here would know it. I wouldn't even let that be seen because I would just get off of here and I would call her and say, "Look, girl, this is what I'm upset about." So no, I know people say, "Oh, Michael, get into it with everybody," or no, 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 we're not into it. We won't ever get into it. That is my sister in Christ. What we do is we talk and we lift each other up. So why would we lift each other up while we talking and then get on here to let each other have it? That's not it. And that's what we were trying to explain. That's what a lot of people do. That's why you got to be careful what you tell people because they will turn around and try to use that same thing against you. I see some people's problem is y'all trust people so quickly and so fast, and then you feel vulnerable. You get vulnerable, and then the next thing you know, you telling them your personal business. I say I don't ever say anything to anybody that I don't want to hear back. I didn't tell my mama. I love my mama to death. But if it was something I didn't want to hear back or something I didn't want her to tell my sisters, I didn't tell her. So that's when you don't do that, then people have to make up stuff. And when people make up stuff, you don't get mad about it because you know they lying. You have some people that do a whole video trying to explain some shit somebody said. I don't have to get y'all know I ain't never explained nothing. She wanted to say, Miss Smith speaking, yeah. And then at some point it gets tiresome. Don't y'all people get tired of getting on here trying to prove their point? Some people say so much shit and they ain't got 1 ounce of receipt. But my thing is this: Even if you had a receipt, I wouldn't give a damn. Um, Especially the road I'm on now. I pray for those people. I pray for my enemies. I literally pray. Y'all might not see me on here praying for my life, but I do pray because, you know, it's an illness when you worry too much about what other people say and think about you. It's an illness. I have had so many lies made up about me that sometimes it's hilarious. Somebody told me, somebody said that my mama wasn't my mama. And I'm like, you have some people to get on and be like, that is my mama. And that is my mama. When you know, you know. Me and my mama look too much alike. We act too much alike. Maybe that's because she had me from birth. I don't, you know, she had
May
me
I
from
have your
birth.
attention? May I have your attention? Code red near H4.
Why that, oh, that makes so
My
much
elevator,
noise.
code red near
I'm
H4.
tired of hearing
My
hospital
elevator,
shit.
code red near H4. My elevator.
What is a cold red, Miss Smith? Irene Smith, what is a cold red? I know what a cold blue is. I know what a cold blue is, but I ain't never heard of no cold red. It seemed like I've been in the hospital forever. Miss Smith, what you okay? Let me look and see what you said. You said, oh, fire. Oh, okay. This boy is on fire. They gave me some pudding with some whipped cream on it. Let's taste this. Y'all know it bothers, not bother me, but it kind of touches my heart every time I eat this because this was chocolate pudding was my mother's favorite. Y'all know if anybody has been rocking with me, y'all know whenever I was in the grocery store, whenever I was at Family Dollar, what would I do? I would call my mama and say, Mama, do you need anything? And if I was at Family Dollar, she would always say, Yes, give me some chocolate pudding. She would ask me to get her some chocolate pudding and my niece Star some strawberry Pop Tarts. It got to the point I didn't even have to ask, I just pick it up. And some coffee and coffee creamer. My mama loved coffee. And that's why I tell people the hardest thing I deal with in life is my mama not being here. Not people talking about me, not people making up stuff. That don't bother me. I'm too deep in missing my mama to worry about what somebody think or says about me. And I don't know, some people that grew up without their mama, so they would never know. Even when their mama died, they won't feel what somebody feels that has had their mother for 54 years. I thank God for 54 years. All I knew was my mama. My grandmother was there, but it was nothing like my mama. Oh, I love my grandma, but grandmama ain't no mama. Grandmother ain't no mama. My grandmama loved her child, loved my mama more than she loved us because that was her child. It's no replacement for that. It does not even equate to the same thing. Now, I was asking somebody this, y'all. What is more devastating as a woman or as a parent, to lose your child or to lose your mama? And I asked quite a few people this, and they was like, they all agreed that losing a child is worse than losing a mama. Well, I don't have any kids, so I would never know that. But I know how it feels to lose a mama. And lately, I've been thinking about it so much. Um, But then also I can think of so many memories. I remember my first day going to school, kindergarten, when I went to half a day, and her having me put my feet in the pants and getting them up and putting Vaseline and that Crown Royal grease in my hair and combing it or brushing it, whichever one she did. And let me tell you a story about my mama, y'all. Her first day of taking me to school, she had a black Cadillac. My mama always smoked weed, as long as I can remember. And she pulled up. The school was right across the street from the house, but she drove me around the corner to the front where I had to go in. And when we pulled up, the police pulled her over right in front of the school. And she had some weed. And I'm looking and I'm scared. And she was like, go on in school. I said, okay. But I'm walking slow and I'm steady looking at my mama. They took my mama weed and they put it all on the ground. My mama was mad as hell because the wind was blowing that day and the wind blew all of it. Hey, yo, Chico. But I'm so glad that I had her as my mother. And I always asked her because she lost her mom. She said, I love my mama. She said, but as a mother, she said, I would want to go before all my kids. And that is a wish that came true because all her, well, no, my one sister passed away of crib death. My mother, my one sister Pam, she was born in 1965. 1965, she was born. I had one sister born in 64. She was born in, Pam was born in 65. So my sister was born in 67 and me in 69. We weren't here yet. And I asked my mom, I said, well, what happened? She died of crib death. She was 6 weeks old. My mother said she had put my sister Pam in the crib. And my other sister she was 1 year old. And my mother was cleaning up the house. She said when she went and looked in the crib, my sister Pam was blue. She said she kind of knew then that she was there. She picked her up and she ran out the house. She left my other sister. She was just so. My grandmother stayed right on the corner, and she ran down the street with her dead baby in her hand, screaming, "Mama, mama!" And her baby had died. They had a funeral for her, and I even got the book from 60 years ago, I should say. No, how many years is that? Yeah, from 60 years ago. Where all my cousins signed, the ones that were here. Now they're all in their 70s, late 60s, 70s. And I think that devastated my mother. And she said losing a child is way much more devastating than losing a parent. You know, I'm thinking about having a child. I really want to. We have mothers. We have mothers in here. Can y'all answer that question for me? Would it be more devastating to lose a child than it is to lose a parent? Can somebody answer me that question? And as y'all see, I've changed my name back to Porcy Gay, the original Porcy Game for Life, Everything Mike. Come on, y'all. Somebody help me out.
May I have your attention? Code red, all clear. Code red, all clear. Code red, all clear.
I'm glad y'all put the fire out. Oh, my body is just lagging today. Lord, give me strength. Give me strength. So nobody's going to answer my question. El Cheapo, do you still have your parents, El Cheapo? You know, I never could even grasp the thought. I used to look at my mama. My mama would, it'd be some days my mama would be crying. She said, I miss my mama. My grandmother had been dead over 30 years. She said, I miss my mama. And I could not fathom what she felt because I still had mine. But you know what I noticed too? Even though my mom was gone, people could never fathom what I feel. I don't care if you did lose your parent because everybody has different relationships. You know, my mother was my best friend. We talked every single day. It wasn't a day that went past that I did not talk to my mama. Let me see what you say, Miss Smith, my Irene Smith. Irene Smith says, still have my mama, my grandmother passed away this past March. Oh, my birthday month. Really? Hmm. You know, I had my grandmother till I was. Let me tell y'all a story about my grandmother. Because my mother had all of us so young. But one thing I'll say about my mama, she kept every last one of us because she had a mother that helped her. My mother had my sister when she was 15. She had my other sister when she was 16. But she was married to my daddy too. She married my daddy when she was 15. They all from Canada. That's what they did. So she married my daddy. She had my sister, one sister at 15. She had the other one at 16. She had my other sister at 8, no, 15, 16. Then she had my other sister at 18. Hey, independent thinker. Then she had me at 20. So by the time she was 20, she had 4 children. And my grandmother helped her. My grandmother was ever present and taught my mother everything she. And my grandmother was young enough to be my mama. And so, mm, and so when my grandmother died, my mama had to say, "Hold up, that's my mama," because we were just as devastated because she was like our mother, but she was not our mama. People, I'm telling you, you could say you love your grandmama. My grandmother was everything, but it does not come. If you've had a relationship, it is nothing compared to your mother. You truly do not appreciate a parent until they're gone. And so I used to always tell my grandmother, "Oh, I can't wait till I turn 18." Because my grandmother was more settled. And at the end of the day, no matter how much my grandmama stepped in, our mama was our mama. And what she say went. And that is a feeling, looking back on it now, that is such a feeling. I love when I hear my mama say, these mine. This is mine. Your grandmother gonna say, this is my daughter's child or my son's child. It's not the same as a mother. It's not the same as a mother. And so I used to always say, oh, I can't wait till I turn 18, Gigi. Because I'm going to move out. Because me and my mom was going through that period. And my grandmother died. She died February the 12th, 1987. I turned 18 March 13th, 1987. She died a month before my 18th birthday. Do y'all know I would have stayed 17 forever if that meant my grandmother was going to stay? Because we keep rushing to get. When we're younger, we want to get older. We don't realize that as we get older, the people that's our ancestors, our forefathers and foremothers, they die off. And that's why at my mother's funeral, I said, I turned to her casket. I said, Mama, I gotta apologize. I said, because I thought when my grandmother died that that was the end of my world. But it was nothing, nothing compared to my mama laying in that casket. And that's why I tell people, I don't care what anybody says about my mother. It doesn't faze me because of the simple fact that when she took her last breath, that was the worst day of my life. And I could never ever feel any worse than I did that day. And so, people always say, "Oh, appreciate your mama, appreciate your daddy, your mom and daddy while they here." And as you all know, my daddy died just over a year and a half after my mama. I can remember him looking so confused at at my mama's funeral, just looking, me not having no idea that he'd be gone shortly too. I used to always tell people, "Oh, when their mama died," I say, "Oh, I don't know what I would do." But how about this? God shows you. God will gotta help you do it. And that's why when I tell y'all that I'm on this journey. I'm on this journey to make it more about him. There's a reason. There's a reason. Because he's all I got. But how many people know that he's all I need? He's all I need to get back. He's all I need to get back. He's all I need to get back. Come on, somebody. Mm. I won't even tell people I know how you feel. Even now, somebody can lose their mama now, and people got a good habit of saying, "Trust me, I know how you feel because I lost mine." No, you don't. You don't know. Just like I don't know how you feel. But I thank God that I took heed to when people said, enjoy them while they're here, love on them while they're here. And that's why I did so much with my mother. That's why y'all saw me with my mother all the time. She used to go, "You spoiled." And I can truly say that my mother and I, the bond we had was unbreakable. Unbreakable. Every time I think of the fact that I got to live the rest of my life without her physically being present, because she talks to me all the time. Y'all know how many times I hear my mama go, "Dumb bitch, you don't stop crying like a bitch. You don't stop acting like a bitch." That's why you have a lot of gay men out here that act gay. Some of them won't even admit it, but act gay and be out here just twitching and switching. My mama didn't play that. She taught me how to be a man. Oh, hold on, y'all. Oh, wait. I had to throw up. Oh, God. Hold on. Oh, hold on, y'all. Uh, hold on. I'll be right back. Uh, God. Oh, Jesus. Ah, oh, hold on, y'all. I ain't dead. I ain't dead, y'all. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. You're awesome. You're so awesome. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. Ah, hold on, y'all. Let me get it together. Well, what you doing? I need my sister in Christ to come up here and just talk to me. I need my sister in Christ to hold on. Uh, uh, okay. Oh my God. Okay, I need you to come up with. Okay. Ooh. So these one of them days that you just ask God to get you through, get you through. Get me through, Lord. That's what I say, get me through. So you have to realize you don't have time to, oh, let me lay back. Uh, oh, ooh, hold on. So I just want to feel better again, y'all. Between having that hiatal hernia, the nauseation, everything I ate, I just threw up. But I'm fighting it like a trooper. I'm fighting it like a trooper. But I'm just tired of feeling like this, you know. I want to get better. I want to get better. I want this thing off my damn foot. But how many people know that God will make things happen in His time?
Well, hello.
Hey,
Did the
hey,
sick and
baby. How you-
did the sick and shut
this-
in call?
That is nice. You make my day. You so silly. I rebuke you. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Um, let me tell y'all this about Upward. She woke me up. It doesn't normally I'll call and wake her up a lot, but baby, when I tell you she paid me back,
Yes.
and yes, you did.
Hmm.
So anyway, she do a prayer every. See, this is what I like about you. Out of all the other people, out of all the other people I've had on my panel, a lot of times it's just to be messy and to go off and all of that. And that's not what we do, and I love that. And if anybody has a problem with that, they can kick rocks. They can kick rocks. LT
Hmm.
was about the sick and shut in. Yes, she did. LT was having screaming. Didn't she just call me the sick and shut in? And you know what? I sure feel like the sick and shut in. So anyway, she asked me to call her so she can get on her prayer line this morning with her church. And I said, okay. So I stayed up because I haven't been able to really sleep. And probably because I ain't in my own bed. And what's so funny is I called her early this morning. I said, turn on the light. Turn on the light, Carol Ann. because I knew she still looked sleepy. So I said, well, what's the prayer number? I'm gonna call in too. And so I'm on there. I'm thinking up. We're on there too. I'm talking about Amen, Hallelujah, and oh, the word was so well needed. Shout out to your church. You hear me?
I love my
The,
church. Woo.
oh
Just
my
thinking
God,
about it makes me happy.
that's all you can do because you missed it. So
See, what had happened was,
I caught up with. I said, "Oh, that was powerful, wasn't it?" She told me, "Huh?" I said, "Oh Lord." This heifer went back to sleep, y'all. Do y'all hear me? But
but
anyway, it
this
was.
is the heart. I was there. Now, I can't tell you what they covered, but
But
it was
I tell
there.
you this, God knew I needed to hear it. So I thank God that I was, cause these last 2 days I've been in a little funk a little bit. Um,
Mm, yeah.
but then again, I thank God for my roommate too, because now I've learned a lesson that could be me. That could be
Yeah.
me. What happened to him? So not to say, I feel for him. That's what you hear me, Mike.
Sir,
I pray for you constantly. Yes, I do.
Oh,
And you a trooper too, though. You ain't over there complaining. This man would check on me. This man say, I got up to be nausea. He said, "You all right? You all right?" This man over there with burns on his face, y'all. And if that's not God showing me, sometime you got to stop worrying about yourself and worry about somebody else.
yeah.
And that's what a lot of us do. We be on here trying to drag somebody for what they going through instead of trying to lift them up. Try to lift them up. I thank God for the people on here that
Let me
have.
turn this TV off.
He said, "Let you take your titty out." What did she just say? Let her take her titty out. Yeah, she missed Bible prayer. She missed prayer this morning talking like that.
No, the TV. I forgot to
Oh,
turn the volume down.
I
Silly.
was, I was about to say you didn't get a
Whatever.
little too comfortable now, just
Never.
being you. No,
Never. The devil
but
is a lie.
God is constantly showing me that Michael, it ain't always got to be about you. Lift somebody else up, even when you're going through the storm. Even when you're going through, lift somebody else up. I'm sitting here worried about my foot in the cast. Some people ain't got a foot. And I'm telling you, if that ain't God, since my mother's been gone, he has been showing me I ain't gotta have the last word. I ain't always gotta prove a point. You know what? Some things speak for themselves. I don't have to keep sitting here talking about how close me and my mama was. It showed it. It was seen. Anybody that really know me and know about me and been around me or listen to me already know how me and my mother were. I don't even cry as much anymore. And I be like, wait, why I ain't crying? Cause baby, it used to be a time all I had to do was think of the letter M. All I had to do was think about the letter my mama name start with, and I would lose it. But I thank God for covering me. I thank God for having me in a different place and space. I thank God for making me strong enough to be able to talk about her without crying. Oh, it still happens, but it don't happen as often. And I try to hold it. Yes, it's good to let it out. You know, I feel good when I'm talking to somebody and I go, you know what? Well, me and my mama, you know what? Do y'all notice that? This is my thing. You have people out here talking about people, mama, and they've been talking about my mama for ever since she died. But I'll tell you this: listen to their stories when they just talking about their own life, and they don't mention their mama one time. You know why? Because their mama wasn't a big part of their life like that. Not to say that was good or bad. That was just them. But I can't. Most of the stories I tell, 90% of the stories I tell, you are gonna hear Michael. You're gonna hear Michael in there, cause one way or another, she's a part of it because she was so much. She was such a big part of my life, and I thank God for that. I don't feel bad for that. I thank God that the love I had for her, that we spent so much. If we went at bingo together, we were at White Castles together. We went fishing together. We went bowling together. We did everything together. Hey, my second wife, April, how you doing? Hey, keeping up with AG, how you been? Oh yeah, let's pray for um, Cooper's Kitchen. Y'all know Cooper's Kitchen? Jamie, she was sick and she was under the weather. She had a car accident. Look at that. She had a car accident. So Cooper's Kitchen, baby, you are in my prayers. Um, Detroit. They from Detroit. They don't live here anymore, but they're from Detroit. And I thank God for her. I saw her and I said, rest well, my queen. I was more concerned about her than I was being nauseated. Thank God that he's softening my heart up. I even pray for my enemies. Yes, I pray for those people that, I pray that God give them a sense of closure, a sense of peace, because you couldn't have peace doing what some of them do. There's no way you got peace and you study talking about other people. Am I right up when I say that?
Absolutely so. Healthy people don't behave like that. Healthy people um want to want to pour, not pull or drain the source. It's just not, it's not cool, but that's all you can do. Is pray for those. I mean, that's what we're ordered to do, to pray for those that, mistreat us. It's a hard thing, it's a challenging thing, but it's possible. And sometimes you absolutely get to see the results. The same with the karma. Sometimes God will bless you enough to be right there, and you got to say a word.
I thank God that I feel, dude. Y'all know it makes me feel better to lift somebody up, to clap for somebody, than to clap back at somebody. It really does. I don't care if nobody believes that or not. It really does. I love to see people win. But you know what? Sometimes you got to be careful which table you sit down at because you might end up on the menu. Look at that girl, like you said earlier, look at that girl that went to the Bahamas with her friends, having no idea that she would end up dead.
Talking about
They,
Kayla Robinson.
yeah, they turned on her and killed that girl, but she wanted to sit at the table with them.
She was surrounded by Judases.
Exactly. So you can't even trust your friend now. You got to be showing up a good friend, and that is one thing. It ain't like I just plucked independent out and say, "Girl, no." This is. I'm telling y'all, when we speak, it's constantly lifting each other up in the Lord.
Mhm.
Constant, constant. We always, we always are saying, "See, this." We're always comparing what happened, good or bad, to God. Either there's a lesson in it or a blessing in it. And we're constantly doing that. And so, I've had people say, oh, we messy, or I've had messy how?
You know what? I am so over, like I said the other day. I'll just put it this way. What people think, feel, or believe as it relates to me is none of my business. It's none of any of our business what other people say about us. And again, if I would be persecuted for talking about the goodness of God, then I can give you story after story after story after story. I mean, I'm serious. If that's what is gonna get people talking, hey, whatever. bring it, because I'm never gonna stop talking about the goodness of God. It may not be here, but wherever I go, that's that's why I'm still here, because of His
You know,
goodness.
I think the funny part, see, some people worry about what other people say, and then you have some people that don't give a damn. But it just shows you how low people can go, how some people have no discernment, have no, don't believe in karma. But some of them already done had karma. That's why they feel the way they feel.
And that's projection.
Yes. I've been unhappy in my life and stuff didn't go out the way it was supposed to. So I dare you to sit here and act like you were so happy because it did work out your way. I
But
see so
there's
many people.
but
Go
there's
ahead.
a place for that, and it's called the therapist couch. Well, nowadays we're doing it through they're all kind of means. So really, now with having the ability to do therapy online, and there's nothing wrong with having a therapist. It really isn't.
I
Um,
had, I had one,
yeah, I have too.
but
You
mine was
know,
so young.
well, mine wasn't.
Okay.
And I'm not ashamed to say, maybe if I was up here wigging out, you see the benefits of it. Trust and believe you do. Because there was a time, oh yeah, I curse you up and down, but for what? To know better is to do better. So um I don't know. Yeah, some things need to be addressed, but not everything. And sometimes I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Sometimes no response is a response, and a huge one.
Right. Right. Some people I talk to, all it is nothing ever positive. And so I pull back. Um, like I said in my title, you can't tell everybody everything, especially your hopes and your dreams. Because as sure as there's people that pray for you, there's some people that pray against you.
For your
Pray for your
downfall.
pray for your downfall. And it's sad that there are people out here like that. But I love to see people win. I never said, "Oh, I hope that bitch fail." Now I might have been in a race and said, "Lord, I hope I win. I hope they trip,
Just so you could win, right?
just so I
That
can
was the
win."
reason.
But that's just being competitive.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in the day to day life, to see, you have some people that will have a baby and lose their baby, and then want everybody else to lose theirs
Yeah.
because of the traumatic stuff they went through. You have some people that didn't have their mama and get mad at everybody else that didn't have a mother. I mean, it's so many different ways to look at that, and I see it. That's evil, bitter people.
But you know
And
what? It's relatable though. I mean, honestly, because I've found myself being in that situation. I think I've mentioned it here. I've shared a lot, but I think I've mentioned it here when my dad passed away. My dad came from a family of 7 children, and a lot of great majority of them were uncles or brothers. And I found myself like the odd man out, because our family, it's like when you see Soul Food, I cry every time I see that movie because it reminded me of our family. But when my dad passed away, and my cousins and all, when the family would get together, I would see them with interacting with their dads, and I was in my feelings. I felt some type of way, and especially since the family resemblance was so strong, they all look alike. So it just made me. I was bitter. I was salty, and I didn't really. I wasn't the nicest person. I wasn't rude, but I was just short. So I can understand. It's hard to deal with. That's why I say, there's a place for people like that, and that's on somebody's couch getting some therapy, some much needed therapy. So instead of judging them and looking down at them, I feel empathy and compassion for them. And I'm not perfect, but I do have the ability to feel for others. And some people, believe it or not, can't help it. They don't have that character trait. They just don't have it in them.
Are they? You just sound you're not in the mood right now.
No, I'm not. I ain't gonna lie.
But you know what? You're being honest with me, my friend. That's okay. That's cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so yeah, I think I don't know. It's and again, I can't see the comments, so I don't know if you're responding or just listening, processing, taking it all in. But that is a hard pill to swallow, and it could be not just limited to death. It could be that you may have had a relationship, you broke up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and now you don't want to be around couples. It could be marriages. I've not felt that way, but
So I
okay.
don't have to answer you that.
Well, I say this all the time. My great grandmother outlived all her kids. She outlived the last one by 20 years. They all died in their 50s. Her and her sister brothers lived into their 90s, mid to late 90s. And so at one time, yeah, let me say this. I remember being in church prepping I worked in the soup kitchen. So on Mondays, I worked in the soup kitchen. So after church on Sunday, Miss Jones, older lady, I was the only man. It was all ladies. We would be peeling potatoes and stuff. We'd be sitting down there, and one of the ladies' daughter was murdered. And I'm gonna tell you why she was murdered. Her boyfriend hit the lottery for a nice amount of money. They had him on the news. They kidnapped her and had her in an abandoned house, tied up, telling him they wanted a ransom for her. And the police rolled down the street. Police didn't even know nothing, and they killed her,
Some of the units do.
thinking that they were in trouble. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. So yeah, they killed her, and I had said, "Oh my God!" So the lady's daughter I knew very well because we were about the same age, and I was like, "You know what? I am so blessed that nobody close to me ever died." The moment I said that, people started dying and dropping off, and I wish I had never said that. For some reason, I was like, if I hadn't said that, they wouldn't have died.
I
And
used to feel that way, not to take it in another direction. But I used to say that when it came to getting beatings when I was little. I ain't got a whipping in a long time. Lo and behold, a few days later or the same day, hours later, I done walked right into a whipping. All right, I'm sorry. Add a little lightness to this.
you know what? I'd say how we were talking parents beating their children. And as I look back, and I realized I got away with a lot of stuff. My oldest sister now was smoking cigarettes about 16. And I'd be the lookout person. So I'd be sitting on the couch. So I had to let them know when my mama came in, right? And I was playing with my car set or something. I looked up, my mama was already in the house. So I couldn't jump up and run to the bathroom. My sister and they came out the bathroom with, girl, we gonna throw down tonight. My mom was like, what the fuck is that in your hand? My sister was like, a cigarette. She made them smoke a whole carton of cigarettes until they threw up. And so my sister would give me a cigarette not to tell. I was like 9 years old. Ain't that so bad? 9, 10. She gave me a cigarette not to tell. So we all went to the show. And during the it was they had the first movie, and then they had the intermission to go to the concession stand. My sister and all them going to smoke in the bathroom. Here come my little 11, 12-year-old ass. I go down in the men's bathroom, I pee, and I pull out a cigarette with the rest of them. Look, they was like, what are you doing? Oh, I started crying because they called I cried and everything. But I thought I was that grown that I could just light a cigarette right with there. Nowadays, how many People won't even say nothing to a little child that's smoking a cigarette. If you saw a 9, 10, 11-year-old smoking, would you say something to him? What would you say?
Like, yes, I would say something. I don't know what I would say, but I would definitely that's not good. Is that I don't know. I would feel led to say something though. I don't know, because I'm
Um,
thinking somebody that look like they're 7 or 8 years old.
April said that's called speaking things into existence. But yeah,
Oh,
you know
that's
what?
cheating. Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd be too scared to say something to, not scared, but these kids don't respect adults like we did back in the day. They will whoop your ass. They will cuss you out. You ain't my mama. I was at the bus stop and the two boys was sitting on the bench and a lady was in the middle of them. She had to be in her 70s and they were rolling the blunt. Now I already thought that was out of order, but hell, okay. But when they lit that blunt up and kept passing it across her as she was coughing,
Hmm.
I said, I gotta say something. And even though my leg was shaking like hell, I said, I was like, what is y'all doing? I said, what if that was your mama? And y'all smoking it? Go over there and smoke it. They looked at me like, fuck you. But they did go to the other side, because I couldn't stand idly by and watch that. But
Yeah.
you have to be careful because these kids will kick your ass.
And not only that, some of the parents condone the behavior. It's just like 4th of July. There was some kids in the cross section of the streets that I live on, and they were doing fireworks. And now where I live, you can only use like sprinklers or the little pop rocks or whatever. That's about it. If you're going to do anything that explodes or leaves a loud boom, you're supposed to go to a certain location, but they weren't. They were doing it close to houses. And I went, because at this point now you're impacting me. So I went directly to the kids, like, look, y'all need to take this to the field or get it away from right where we are, because it's falling, all the debris is falling on people's cars. One could land on a house, cause a fire. And their ignorant parents were standing right there, not saying anything. I figured if I went to the child, in a nice way, and like Molly McButter, just so friendly. Oh no, no. They didn't say a word. They just kept right on. So I called the police. Like, maybe you could explain it to them, because you won't listen to me. Maybe listen to them.
April said, Mike, my mama knew I smoked the whole time, and she was a smoker. I could never bring myself to smoke in front of her. Look, my mother, I remember we went fishing over in Canada because my cousin had all my family's from Canada, and he had a houseboat, so we would catch the fish and hand it to him and his wife, and they would clean it and cook it right there. Some of the freshest fish ever. But so we had been up to about 5, 6 hours. Now I need a cigarette. So I tell my mom, I said, Mom, I'm gonna go all the way down this end, maybe the fish biting. She said, okay. I go down there, I let my pole in and I set it up. I sit down like yes. I took the cigarette, I put it in my mouth, and as I was lighting it, my mom said, what the fuck is you doing? I said, she was like, give me a cigarette. So can y'all believe this? I could get out the car at middle school when I was in 8th grade with a cigarette. And the kids used to be like, your mama let you smoke. I'd be like, like I was grown. My mama just did not know how to raise a man. When I say she didn't feel like I didn't have to do nothing but take out the grass. Take out the garbage, cut the grass, fix the house up. If it was a mouse on the trap, I had to get the mouse. You know, um, it was so many things that I just got away with. Never had to wash dishes. That's why I love washing dishes now. I prefer washing dishes over dishwasher. But I know my mother was learning, and she did not know how to raise a man. That's why she raised a gay guy. No, but she allowed me to be free and allowed me to learn. And I thank God for that. I really do. I really do. But at first, I couldn't smoke either. I could have a pack of cigarettes in my pocket, but I couldn't light one up. And my sisters hated that. But these kids nowadays are not the same, and they don't wish they don't wish happiness and um what's the word I'm looking for? Happiness and growth. If it's not them growing, they don't care about it. They don't push each other like back in the day. Go, you go, rooting somebody on. Especially in these YouTube streets, they don't root nobody on. What they do is they drag them. They try to pull them down. They try to hurt them. But how many people know you can't be hurt unless you allow somebody to hurt you? Come on. Y'all know I have been into a lot of clapback brawls. And y'all know what? I felt like I won every last one of them. Hence the word clapback king. But I don't need to do that. I don't have to do it. My track record speaks for itself. The only time we keep doing something is because we feel like we have not been good enough. Baby, when you get good enough where you can clap back on somebody and never talk about them again, baby, that's what you call a true read. That's what you call reading the bitch. Excuse my friends. Oh yeah, I decided I'm not gonna cuss anymore. Okay, God said that's a lie. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm not even gonna put that out there. I can't even believe I put that on myself. I just lied. Lord, I'm sorry for lying. I know a lot of in church growing up. I heard a lot of them church mothers cussing. I've heard some pastors cuss. Mm-mm. What are you doing, Albert?
Child, you know I'm a foodie. So I was sitting here, I was eating my little, cinnamon coated graham crackers, and I like to dip mine in coffee. So
Did you ever try the apple juice like I told you?
look, I'm tired of you bossing me around. I told you I don't color in the lines. I'm a try it though. I do want to try it.
Oh, oh, Miss Smith, I listened to that song you sent me. So beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you. I enjoyed that. See,
Mm.
I like when people know the path you on, and some people look at Miss Smith they go laugh. What y'all laughing at? But um, I love people that be on a journey with you. They see you going someplace, and then they'll send you church songs, not pop that coochie song. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Somebody know you on a different path. They're gonna send you a song to my pop that coochie.
But that's sad. Some people don't want to see you, elevate. They want to see you stagnant and going off and stuff. That's not a good look. It ain't cute. It ain't popping. Mm,
A
gross.
lot of people, think, oh, when I get out the hospital and I have a drink, I'm gonna clap back on somebody, and they're sadly mistaken. That's just not gonna happen. Even if I am tipsy, I'm
Mhm.
so focused that I'm not gonna give anybody that satisfaction of me cut. Even a person, some people want you to cuss them out. Devil, you ain't got nothing here. I'm holding on to God. Have no fear, no pain, no
No
gain.
game. Mhm.
Come on.
Now I can't get the song out my head.
somebody sent me a picture of Two Braids' daughter, and it's like, oh, look at this, look how she look. And y'all know what? At first, I didn't know who she was, and I saw she cute, and then they was like, you know who that is? I said, oh, she ugly as hell, but I was playing. But I did that playing because I said, I don't like him. I'll never speak. I don't hold any malice because life's gonna kick his ass. I don't need to do it. And I felt good, I felt good that I could have went off on that picture so bad, but I didn't.
Okay.
We gotta make better choices, better decisions. And that's a part of following God, I believe. Making better choices, making better decisions, knowing that you don't have to go to every fight that you're invited to. You don't have to go to every argument you're invited to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might lose the battle, but you win the war. Save that energy for the war.
I
You know.
just say use the energy for something good. Like, we got all this stuff that's happening in the world, you know. It's the sky's the limit, you know. Just so much. I mean, and it's like these things are like distractions, really. We got tariffs, everything's more expensive now, and then all this foolishness over here. It's like kind of crazy. When I say foolishness over here, I mean on YouTube.
Yeah. I just want to make it to be a 97-year-old man, still thanking and praising God for all he has done. Me and bam.
Oh, I noticed when I came in. See, you're not gonna keep doing that to us. You just
But
not. All your gloating and all that carrying on. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
because that's what you call a real man. Don't judge me.
Oh, I'm
Judge
judging.
it.
I'm
Oh
judging.
wait, listen. I wanted to tell you this.
Hmm.
This morning, you was like, "Did you call my videos old and vintage,
Only
black
thing
and
that
white?"
the vintage filter, because I did say filter. I just said it looked old and dated. Um,
Uh,
and I guess that's what you were going for. So kudos to you. You nailed it.
yeah,
Hey, sir.
let me call you back. I mean, hold on.
Okay, we're just
That man is funny. Absolutely hilarious. So I so wish I could see the comments. But anywho, I'm just trying to follow along with the theme of what he was talking about. I don't know. Hopefully his energy level picks up some. Hopefully it feels better. Looks like it. Little by little. Won't God do it? But yeah, y'all, you know what? I did feel really bad this morning. Cause I call in every morning at 6 o'clock for the prayer line. Some days I'm successful as far as being able to be attentive. Cause it's like we'll have a little talk before the actual prayer starts. So it kind of builds up and gives a theme for the direction the prayer goes. And I'm so proud of myself because, and this is my growth. I I've always been a member of a church and participated in church activities, minus the prayer stuff or like come to the prayer meetings on Friday nights. That was not me because when I was immature, it's like they pray too long. Who will be praying for an hour or 2 hours? I can't do that. But, now I have a greater appreciation for it. So since being a part of this church, I joined it in April. And I mean we were a part of another church, and that's how I met this pastor couple. They had their church and they came and joined ours to kind of help it expand. But then things went left, fights kind of, amongst the clergy or the clergy team. So they were there for a year and they left. And some of it was, let me slow down a little bit. I think some of it was just my opinion. I'll say it. I think some of it was just pure jealousy, because that pastor that came in to help our church grow, the man can preach. His wife can preach. They're an anointed family. And, people like to remind people of their past. And one thing I can appreciate about my pastor and his wife, I absolutely love them. I don't worship them. I love them. But they're pretty transparent. Yeah, they're really, really transparent. No holes barred with them. And I can appreciate that. To me, they seem more authentic than the ones that go up that are so polished and everything's so perfect. No, these are like real people. And so because of their energy, their spirit, they are two beautiful spirits. And everybody in the church is just so nice and warm and so loving. But I've never ever participated in the prayers. So I out of curiosity, I called in, kind of like some of us are log in on these YouTube channels out of curiosity, and then you see something you like and you stick around, and that's kind of how it was. So things just started growing, connections growing, getting better, and I figured I'd just continue to call in. And for like the first week, I was on fire out the gates, couldn't wait to wake up and be a part of prayer. Then by that second week, I guess the devil was big mad, like, you ain't gonna be praying and doing all this church stuff. And so I started falling asleep. And then ever since then, it's like me and the devil just battling, because some days I'm able to stay awake, and other days, like this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, my daughter tapped me. She was like, Mom, you can hang up now, because there was elevator music playing after you get off the call.
One thing about that call, every time somebody came in, you could hear a beat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that took away from her talking, because I kept hearing the beeps.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't think that's avoidable, because of that's how the system works. I don't know what system it is, but yeah, it's a system thing.
And mind y'all, I was at the prayer from beginning to end. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to lift me up or put up or down, but she fell a little short today.
I feel like you're judging me. Who are you to judge me, sir?
I'm amen. I thought I heard you. I thought I heard you say amen. I said, but that didn't sound like Upward. But I really was blessed to be a part of that. I enjoyed it. I will be there. I will be in there every day from now on. What a way to start your day. What a way to start your day with positivity. And she was saying, sometimes you have to be a Bible. You might be the only Bible that a person reads. And I thought that was so deep, because people ain't going to hear the word, because they ain't going to lift the book up. So if you tell them the word, or you speak the word, then they getting something that's pouring into, that's nourishing.
And not only take it a step further, the application step, where you live in it.
Yes.
That's where it becomes challenging sometimes, and we fall short.
Well, I always live holy, because I've got a holding pair of pants or a sock or one of my shirts. I'm always holy. That's else you gonna say living your life. April said, I wish you could too, Upward. Wish you could what?
What, stay awake? Child, I think maybe I'm gonna physically get up and sit here just like I'm sitting with this. That might be the key.
That's what I did. I had a cup of coffee, leaning on the Lord and not my own understanding.
All right now.
Mm. But I fell off the wagon yesterday because I went into El Cheapo's live with her nasty ass. No, I'm joking. This old nasty ass El Cheapo. Because I like to go in and listen to her. Put that ass on my face so I can get pink eye. I was like,
What?
what?
El Cheapo. I'm gonna have to catch my pearls on that one. Not El Cheapo.
Listen.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, I want to tell Cheapo it said the guy said sit your ass on my face so I can get the pink eye. I was like, what have I walked into?
What is that, a song?
Baby. I said, what is these kids listening to? No. Oh, I
Wow.
was like, she need to get her some or something. I'm just joking, El Cheapo, but yeah, that song was blowing. Who was that El Cheapo? Back in our day, we used to call it Luke Skywalker. Remember Luke?
That's what I
Uncle
was
Luke.
thinking. Mm-hmm.
Yes, my God. Oh, you know some songs, but you don't know the TV shows, the movies. You know
I'm a music person.
one of my favorite movies, and it really correlates to life, is The Imitation of Life, where you see how kids are never, I mean, you're never happy. You had the black woman who had a daughter that looked like she's white. She wanted, and then you had the white woman who had a white daughter. Now, the white girl wished the white woman was her mama, and the white girl wished that the black lady was her mama. Were never satisfied. And the saddest part of that movie is when, the girl done told her mama, Mama, please, if you see me walking down the street, don't acknowledge me. That's how bad. She said, I'll just keep walking. You'll get tired. That's what she told her mama. I'll just keep, every time I see you, you'll get tired. And when that funeral, the white girl broke through the crowd and she laid her head on her mama. She said, this is my mama. That's my mama. Now she your mama. That's my mama. She said, I killed her. I'm sorry, mama. I killed you, mama. Because her mama died of a broken heart. Because her daughter, it's one scene where it started raining while the little white girl was at school.
Are
And
you spoiling the movie?
no, trust me, so much more. And the black mother gets her boots and her raincoat and take it. And she goes to the class and she said, hey, I'm here for my daughter. She got a raincoat and boots. And the teacher said, we don't have any colored kids in here. She said, there she go right there. The little girl jumped up, started crying, ran out, and my mama had to chase her through the snow. And the little girl hated that. And it's just a sad movie, but it's such a poignant movie. How many people in here seen Imitation of Life? That's one of my favorite movies of all time. My other movie is Lady Sings the Blues with Diana Ross.
I like that one. Now, I don't remember it, CMA. I don't recall all the stuff. I've seen the movie. How many times did you watch?
Oh, I've watched it a million times. My mama took me to see Imitation Life at the drive-in. I cried so much. My mama said she thought she had did something wrong. And I was young. She said I cried and cried and cried. She said they couldn't believe I cried like that.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that movie come on, when Mahalia Jackson singing at the funeral, everybody look at me because that's my point. I cry all the time.
That's like my son with the Passion of Christ. He broke down and cried when they had Jesus on the cross.
April said that was one of my son's father movie. How many sons do you have, and how many sons? I mean, baby daddies you got now? Okay, movie.
See you.
So he always said it was a tearjerker. Yeah, it is a tearjerker. If you don't cry off that, something wrong with you. If that movie don't move you, something is wrong with you.
Where can I see it? I'm a challenge myself to watch it today.
I'll send you the link to it.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Too bad we can't watch it together. Too bad I couldn't play it on here. I could, but it'd be a copyright. April said I had two mic, one living. I told you that. Oh, I just want to know, is any of mine? Is any of mine? 'Cause I can't be paying child support. I'm sorry to hear that, but okay. All right. My mother had 5 children and 3 baby daddies. But she had 3 kids by one man, her husband. She had the oldest one by somebody else and the youngest one by somebody else. But so I think that that's still a good record. Don't judge me. Don't judge my mama. Judge her damn self.
I ain't said nothing. I'm sitting here dipping and eating my little cracker.
Yeah, my mama couldn't help because she had friendly coochie.
I'm not even gonna touch that at all. I'm sitting here
Well
eating my
loved,
cracker.
well loved coochie. Well, and who's to say? Hold on. April says, "Well, my kids being 11 years apart, they had different daddies. Unfortunately, what is up with y'all having these kids so far apart?" Um, my mama said she wanted to get out. But let me tell you this.
Can
My
I
mama
answer
said,
that?
"Go ahead, go ahead."
The far part, because of the homework and all that stuff. You know, because
Okay,
yeah. Go ahead.
you had them fall apart.
10 years.
Wow,
Yep.
that was just like having a built-in babysitter. That's all.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you this. My mama said she wanted. She was walking down the street. She said, I was in a stroller and my other sisters was walking. And the ladies was like, look at that young girl with all them damn babies. That's a damn shame. Not knowing, right, not knowing that she was married, for
Yeah.
one. And then when we got older, you know what it went to? Oh my God, girl, what? You look good. Didn't your children? You see how they changed around?
Mm-hmm.
She was a fast ass when she was younger, looking at these babies. But now we older, looking like her sisters and brothers, and it was a compliment. So that's why you
Mm-hmm.
can't lie with. See what the devil made for bad, God turning into good. My mama always heard that. Oh my God, girl, you got kids that old? Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
look good. Yeah, yeah.
People are
After
something.
Yeah, but you know, after me, they told my mama she couldn't have any more kids. So she said she didn't use anything. And next thing you know, she found out she was pregnant with my sister about 5, 6 months.
Mm. Ooh, child. And you know another reason I didn't like. I like the feeling of being pregnant. After the first trimester. That first trimester with all the nausea and vomiting and all that stuff, I was like, no, I'm good. I don't never want to do this again.
Oh
But then
my
you
God.
forget.
Oh my God. I've been nauseated and vomiting too. I think I might be pregnant. But the sad part about it is I wouldn't know who the damn daddy is.
Sure enough. Mm, do
April
tell.
said two was definitely the limit for me. Yeah. But I have a lot of women in our family that had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 babies all by the same man.
Hmm.
So I didn't come from a whorish family.
Well, that's a good thing.
Mm. And they all raised their kids. You know, the women, My great grandmother had my grandmama when she was 16. My grandmother had my mama when she was 18. My
Mm-hmm.
mama had my sister when she was 15. My sister waited. She had her first child when she was 23. But at one time, there was 7 generations. I mean, 6 generations on Earth at one time.
That's good.
Can
Yeah.
you believe it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's not uncommon for back in the day families.
yeah. I have a picture. This is so. My mother has a coffee mug. I took a picture of it. It's her, my great grandmother, and so my great grandmother was sitting there with her granddaughter and her granddaughter's great granddaughter. Isn't that
Wow.
something?
Mm-hmm.
You sitting there with your granddaughter and your granddaughter's great granddaughter. That was her great grandbaby.
Wow. That's a blessing.
Yeah,
That's a
she.
true
Matter of
blessing.
fact, when my grandmother, listen to me, my grandmother died. My great grandmother died. She had 20. She had 4 kids, 27 grandchildren, 167 great grandchildren, 8 great, and 3 great.
Hmm. Big family.
Yes, and I'm the oldest great grandson out of that 167. My mama kids, all of us are the oldest because she was the oldest great. Even though I was a great grandchild, I'm older than 2 of the grandchildren. Even though I'm a great grandchild,
Mm-hmm.
and I grew up with the grandchildren.
Wow.
Yeah. My paternal grandmother had her daughter at 14. Okay. Um, April said, "Wow, have you ever watched Maury?" I used to always watch Maury, and then how the people come up to me, like, I had no idea she was pregnant. And I'd be like, "How the hell?" When you know? But that happened. My baby sister was 6 months pregnant. We had no idea. She hit it that well,
Oh, wow.
and she was 12 years old when she got pregnant,
That's
and
whew.
did it at 13. But she was fast. She was a fast ass. That baby lived for 5 days. 8 months later, she had another baby. My mama said, if this little bitch get pregnant again, it's gonna be while I'm watching. She didn't get pregnant 8 months later. She had another baby 8 months later. And I said,
Mm.
Mama, did you enjoy watching?
Oh, wow. That's whew. That's a lot.
We had a cat named Spot. Spot was such a hoe. The boy cats would be trying to bust our windows. I mean, scraping and meowing at the window to get Spot. Spot must have had some good coochie. But I'm gonna tell you this: every time Spot had a litter, my baby sister had a baby.
Mm.
One time, me and my mom was sitting there watching TV, and Spot walked past, and my mama bust out crying. I said, "What?" She said, "This bitch pregnant." So I know that other little bitch pregnant, and sure enough, my sister was pregnant. They both were pregnant at the same time.
Wow. Mm.
April said, "Yeah, I think back in the day, my grandmother had the least amount of kids. One had 2 and the other had 3. So my immediate family was real small." See, I keep telling people this. If I don't speak to half of my family, the other half is still bigger than most people's family.
Mm.
I mean, I have a gigantic family. And so that used to trip me out when they say, oh, his family don't talk to him. I'm like, nigga, you have no idea who my family is. You have no idea. And that's just, look, and that was just my family over here. My great grandmother had 18 sisters and brothers, and my great grandfather had 12 sisters and brothers.
Mm.
So, and I don't, I wish I could become rich and famous and get to know all of them because there's so many of them, and it's a lot of biracial ones over in Canada. So there's a
Mm.
lot of white people in my family. Yeah, that is my goal, is to because we don't have the family reunions like we used to. I haven't been to one in a while. That's probably because now you got to show passports and everything to get over in Canada.
Yeah.
It used to be my way to do was show our IDs. Yeah,
Wow.
but
When's the
yeah, I
last
have.
time you've been back?
Um, my cousin Roland is buried over. My cousin Roland buried in Canada. My grandfather, my uncle. We got one cemetery was just all family over there, and that probably was about 7, 8 years ago.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, but I was in a hospital one time, and Canadian people have a certain dialect. They say A, and Canucks, they're Canucks. And the one lady, I said, "Well, you sound like you're from Canada." She said, "I am," because they have a lot of them from Canada work over here. And I said, "I have family in Canada." She was like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I got a cousin named Claudette, the ones I remember." She was like, "Wait a minute." She said, "I know Claudette." Didn't she pull up the picture of my cousin and they were best friends?
Oh, wow. Wow.
How ironic was that?
Mm, wow.
Mhm. See, I got some international family. I got some family to kick your ass in another country.
Wow.
Yes, but it's nothing like family. You're not gonna get along with all of them. That's Mike. Ask Upward. She has no way of ever fixing it to where she can see the chat when she's up there. I guess it's because I ain't reading shit right.
You know what? I'm gonna start pushing buttons like you were saying, but I get frustrated. I don't have any patience, so I can start pushing buttons, but then like the last time I had all this stuff I had never seen before, and when I did actually do it one time, I could never do it again. Let me see. So if I get lost, I'll come. Because no, you did tell these people this. I'm behind the
Oh,
side.
wait, Chiba, about what? Put your ass away so I can get a pink eye.
Mm.
Oh, I was like, my God.
So I got menu comments
And
recording.
y'all make sure, listen, y'all make sure y'all go over there and watch El Chipo. I'm telling you, y'all would really enjoy. I enjoy her lives. That's why I'm always going to. If now she pops up and I got to go over there and see what she eating, what hotel she's staying in, what pool she's swimming in, what cocktails she having, what nasty ass music she listening to. No, uh, she said I'm screaming. It was said that's not what I was saying at all. No, you was saying Michael ain't reading this shit right with his half reading non-glasses and having ass. I know what you were saying.
So I can read the chat now, but I can't see Mike anymore. So I got the
Yeah,
three things.
that's how it works.
Huh?
That's how it works. You won't be able to see me, but you can see the chat. People say
Okay.
we'll be at a hotel Monday. What? So that's what I want to know. People, do you just go around and try out different hotels? Um, all I see is El Cheapo shorts. I wonder if I'm subscribed. I'm gonna check. Oh, y'all will really enjoy her videos. Trust me, I do. Wait, what was you dressing up as when you had your daughter dance behind you? When you told that child that she had to be your background dancer or singer before y'all can carve the pumpkin? And I wonder what was your costume? What was you giving? You was giving me lesbian.
Mike.
He
Well,
crazy as hell.
no. You was giving me lesbian.
Nah. I am a tomboy, but I'm not a lesbian. But look,
But I
so
know you're not. But then when you was singing that song, I said, is she giving me hat turned to the back and sweat and singing a song?
yeah, when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, I said I look like a whole stud. And so one of my best friends
Listen,
hit me up. One of my best friends hit me up was like, girl, you do. I was like, oh my God, I gotta stop.
wait,
But
wait. I thought that was your Halloween costume you was trying on. I was like, is she gonna be a stud of Halloween?
Nah.
Which one is her channel?
El Cheapo.
That's what I just showed you, and this Hispanic man came up here.
All right, so look, type ESEL, but don't space it. Just say ESEL and then CHEAPO.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yes. Can one of my moderators put her link in the chat, please? Thanks. Listen, what song did I come into? El Cheapo.
Yes.
Well, I came in, I heard "Put Your Butt on My Face So I Can Get a Pink Eye."
It was.
I was
hey,
like, what?
listen, I used to go on POF. You know what POF is? Plenty of fish. Yeah, it's a dating site, right?
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Okay, but I went on there because they have like live streaming, like how we doing right now, like a panel. You could do that over on POF, and like I was making money by going live, because like people would like send gifts, and like it would convert into money. But anyways, so they were listening to that song one day on somebody's live, and I was like, what the heck? It's called "Slut Me Out."
Oh, so that is NLE Chopper.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, he got that song. Look, speaking of gifts and stuff, like she said, y'all don't hesitate to send some gifts over here that I could period turn into money. But yeah, that's NLE Chopper. I love him. He got that song out. If I was a bitch, I'd fuck me too. That song.
I don't really listen. Listen, independent thinker. Listen, don't have Mike out here having you thinking I'm just a heathen. Okay.
No,
I love the Lord. Okay, He has heard my cry. So
hello. I'm just like, ooh, let me go and get my coffee.
Look, all I know was I was reading my Bible and I threw that Bible down and started twerking. I started twerking.
I gotta, you know what? I do have to be mindful of what I do put out there. But yeah, last night I definitely was trying to hype myself up to go to the gym. That's what that was about.
Yes, I saw that. Have you ever seen any of my videos when I'm in the gym?
Yeah. I've been watching you for a long time. Oh. So yeah, I have.
I'll be too busy in the steam room looking at everybody, just having a good old time.
Oh my God! No, but I can't
wait till
I can't.
Oh, go ahead.
Talk about that. So yeah. So so like, I don't know. I do like to just like go and do like staycations at different hotels. But there's this place called the Great Wolf. Is that my
Great Wolf Lodge?
Yeah, is that my phone doing that noise?
Oh, let me put my microphone on.
Yeah. So there's this place called the Great Wolf Lodge, and so like every year, me and my daughter go for our birthday because we have the same birthday, and so we'll go stay for like 2 days. But last year we went to Cabo on a cruise. She enjoyed that, but this year she want to go to Disneyland. So I was up last night like around 3:00 in the morning, just bored surfing the internet, and I'm like, let me see what kind of deals the Great Wolf Lodge got. And I seen, because she don't have school on Monday, so I was like, let me see how much it costs to go on a Monday. And it was like $70. I was like, oh yeah, let's go. Because I usually pay like $150 for a night.
Can you adopt me as your child so I can go to some of them hotels too? Damn, because y'all be looking like y'all be having cool as hell.
Man, yeah, I mean, I like to get away. I just like to, go do things with my kids. My son is too old, so he doing his own thing. He got a girlfriend now, so he don't really want to go nowhere with me no more.
I went back when you said that was your son. I had to go back and look at the video. Now I can tell that was your son now that you said it.
Yeah.
But he still look big. You wouldn't think that you had him. You know what I'm saying? Looking at you, I would not think that you was his mama, cause you look young.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I definitely get that a lot. But yeah, I had a child at 20.
So let me get, if you had him at 20 and he's about to be 20, you 39 about to be 40.
I'll be 39 in November. Next year he'll be 20, I'll be 40.
Okay. Okay, look at God. Look at God.
Yeah, you know, they
Don't
say
you?
black don't crack unless you do it.
Right. Exactly.
Nah, but no. But even still, like still, God be preserving them too, because they outlive a lot of people. So
Look, you know what kills me when somebody, I had an auntie in my family never drank, never smoked, and died before everybody, and from cancer. And
mm,
look, I worked there. I was a bank teller at a bank. Um, and on my lunch break, I would smoke a cigarette. And the lady was like, one of my coworkers, she was like, "Do you know smoking? I mean, secondhand smoke is worse than actually smoking." I said, "Well, don't you think you need to light a cigarette up then?" Oh, because it tripped me out. But yeah, you have some people that eat healthy and do all of that all their life and still will die from something. And the person that's out there partying and having a good time will live a long damn time.
yeah, it be like that sometimes.
Thank you, Miss Smith. Miss Smith says 313 comedians support the channel family. Yes, you better moderate, Miss Smith. Um, I don't know what Shawanda. I told Shawanda she about to be the number two moderator. You know, because Shawanda come in and out. Shawanda, where you at? You in here? If I don't see you, it's gonna be on. Now, that's one thing. People can moderate. This is another thing. What do y'all think about people? A certain content creator unmodded some of his moderators. He said because they be over in chats that don't represent his channel good. And I'm thinking that first of all, you don't get paid to be a moderator. You ain't finna watch where the fuck I go and what I do. Cause you can take that moderator stick and stick it up your ass, as I was told.
So I don't be over here in this sector like that no more. I be like in a whole nother sector. They crazy as hell too. But when people take those those mod sticks very serious. Me myself personally, I don't care about them. Like, to me, it's just work that you're not getting paid for. You get what I'm saying? And so,
Right. Right.
but I do appreciate when channel holders will, like, show their moderators appreciation, or whatever. Like, I got certain people that I deal with, like, for their birthday, I might send them a little cash app, just to show my appreciation, for, like, just coming in and doing what they do.
Well, what I try to do for my like even Shawanda, her birthday, they cast up her very well. That day will be about them for their birthday. Cash app them. I do that all the time. Um, yeah, El Cheapo, I've been wanting to tell you, you are a very pretty girl.
Thank you, Miss April. Let me, hey,
Um,
look, let me drop 60 pounds. I'm really gonna be outside.
April says, right, I love to moderate, so I do my job as a mod, but come on, don't take it so serious. I know. You know what? People have gotten mad at me. Where am I when I could not get in that one channel and give anybody a mod stick? Where my mod sticker? Where my mod? And I'm like, I would rather somebody be reading my comments and acknowledging me more so than me having, because I said, fuck it. I'll tell you what you do. Go to the hardware store, buy you a wrench and some blue spray paint and spray that bitch, and do you have one right with you? Because it's not. And then my moderators, this is what I like my moderators for, especially when I was clapping back or I was like that, for them to erase a comment that they knew that was going to make me go left. Because I tell them, don't block nobody. As long as they ain't disrespecting me, don't block them. And hell, 9 times out of 10, they'll get out of here before you block them because I'll let their ass have it. So, but some people take moderate being a excuse me, being a moderator so seriously. It's like seeing their name with a wrench next to it is everything. And you know, I'm not a moderator. I think my sister, I got a wrench in her life. That's the only one, and I don't never use it.
So no, and this is no shade to people that do the moderation, because I moderate for some channels too, but I feel like a lot of people that come to YouTube, they not important in real life, and so
You better say
feel
that. I say that all the time.
they people, and like I said, this is no shade, but some people get these mod sticks, and it makes them feel like they're valuable, like it gives them some sense of self-worth or something. If a person take my mod stick, I don't think nothing of it, like it don't make me or break me, but some people will fall out with you for doing that kind of stuff.
Look,
It's
look,
crazy.
I don't even be. I have never noticed if somebody did take mine. But I'm gonna tell you, I've always said this, El Cheapo. Like content creators, to get mad when somebody go watch somebody that they're into it with. That's because you were not popular in real life. You were always an outsider, an outcast. Because I don't care who I'm into it with. I can't. That's high school. I can't stop you from going. You grown. And let me make this clear too. I'm not a part of any sector. I'm a part of the CMA sector. So I could do cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. That is the sector I'm at. Just so happened my sister, when I first came out, I did YouTubers of the week and subscribers of the week and tried to help. I helped a lot of people get monetized. And I think that kind of made people think I was part of that sector, but I would just go find channels that were like at 700, 800 and say, okay, let's get them their watch hours. Let's get them to 1,000. And that was my thing. And it wasn't just one sector. I was just looking through YouTube, period, because God blessed me with my first video to go viral. And I didn't have to do that hard work. So I said, why not share with somebody else? That's why I wouldn't, even when I get back on my other channel over there, I would never charge anybody to collab. It works for my sister. She paid Walt, B Love's brother, to do a live, and she did get quite a few subscribers. So because it's no guarantee because I do a collab with you that my people gonna watch you. I always say you can send them to them, but you got to keep them.
So the other day I did this little interview. I don't know. Do you know who Kendra G is?
No.
You watch her? Okay, so Independent, did you see a guy named Awesome go on her show? He was in a shelter and he had a baby, a biracial baby, and he was talking about he was looking for a black woman to help raise his daughter, and he was in a shelter and stuff.
No, I didn't see that. I don't really watch her all the time. I used to some days. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't see that one.
Okay, well, anyways, I had he came on my channel, so we did a little, I interviewed him or whatever, asked him some questions because he has a really wild, thought process, definitely different from a lot of men, and so so I got like a lot of super chats, and then I got like a lot of cash apps too, or whatever. And he didn't ask me for anything, but I just me being me and being fair, like I sent him what I got in the cash apps, right? And so when I sent it to him, he was just like, oh, thanks, like now I could wash me and my kid clothes. And so like that really like meant something, because like you just never know what people are going through, and so yeah, I look at it as a means to help people.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've been burnt 3 times. The first time a lady came on, and all my old subscribers would know this. The lady came on. She said her husband had hit her, and she was moving, and she didn't have any furniture or nothing. And my 4C gang is so quick to say, "What's their cash app?" So they had to cash app her about $300. And I was like, "Well, let us know and she cried. First she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you, CMA. I love you." And of course they sent her about 300. And I'm not one of those content creators that, oh no, all money come to me. No, because I get blessed and them being blessed. And so I told her to come back. We never heard from her again. Baby, she got that $300 and hit it. Hopefully that, or he didn't fuck her up. I don't know. But then, do you remember the one lady that lied and said her son was killed?
Yes.
And listen, but first she did it before. She said her nephew. She said, "I can't bury my sister. She on drugs," and so they sent her quite a bit of money to 4C Gang. And so I thought about it. I said, "Oh, so how was your nephew's funeral?" Because he said nothing else. And she said, "Oh, it was good." So then she called me and she said, I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She said, "All right." She said, "Yeah, I was in a car accident today. It was a landscaping company. They hit my car." And then she was like, "And my son got killed." I was like, "Wait a minute," to myself. That should have been the first thing you would have led off on. You would have said,
Right.
"Fuck you." And she didn't. So when she said, then she told me, she said, "I don't mind you telling people because I know you love me." She kept pressuring me to tell them. So I came on here and said, "Look, y'all, let's pray for," what was her name, y'all? I forget her name. Let's pray for,
Lieutenant Nina Ross.
oh, yeah, you remember?
Yes.
I was like, pray for Lieutenant Nina Ross because she lost her son. The first thing the 4C Gang said, "What is her cash app?" I said, "Y'all, let's hold up. Let's wait till she found the funeral so we can send flowers too." I did that on purpose because I wanted to make sure it was true. For some reason, I didn't believe her. And so then she went over on somebody else's channel. I didn't know she had went on several channels. And then I called her. I said, "Hey, can you send me the obituary?" You know, she sent me some laminates, right? That you like it was a backstage pass. And so, but baby, some detectives dug it up. It was not her son, and all that. And I told her, I said, "Why would you do that to me?" I said, "I am so hurt because and that was right around the time my mother died. I stopped talking about my mother to lift her up about her son." And so it kind of made me leery about telling. I mean, the 4C Gang can do what they want to do, but I won't be the catalyst behind it. I
Yeah,
just can't.
I
That's
kind
so
of
that's so funny because maybe like a month or so after, once everything came out and was exposed, maybe not even a month, maybe a little bit longer. But I was like, I was on another channel. I was like, I recognize that voice. So I closed my eyes and I listened. I was like, I am foolish enough to believe that, because you could see the girl. I was like, I'm foolish enough to believe that that's her right there. Because that voice, the way she talked, everything, because she was always on your panel. Um,
She was always, "Better not nobody talk about my Uncle Mike. Better not nobody use him. Better not nobody ever fuck with him." I said, I gotta watch the ones that say that because it'd be ulterior motive behind it.
so the fact of the matter is people are gonna be people, right? And so, you know, it's kind of like when I give the homeless people money, like, I can't control what they do with that. Like, obviously, when I give it to them, like my hope is that they'll go and do something right with it. But once it's out of my hands, it's out of my control. And so, I just, give, and I allow God to just bless me in my giving. And so I say that to say, like, don't allow that to stop you from,
Yeah,
you know,
look, I was driving down the freeway and going on the east side, and you know how you come up and they be right there on the ramp, and the guy had decided. He said, "I'm not even gonna lie. I need some money for a beer." And you know what? I gave him $5. I said, "Nigga, that's just because you telling the truth." I thought that was so hilarious. I was like, "Here you go," because it was so funny. But you're right. But now you have people that say, if they have a sign and say, "I'm hungry," and they be like, the people go out, come on, I'll buy you something to eat, and they say no, they want the money. Now those type of people, you know, I think because they make some good money out there. Hell, they get up like it's a job. I would be too scared somebody I went to school with would ride past me. Look at Michael. I seen Michael, he's doing bad.
You know, I'm always weary of that too. Because you know, being an empath, you care about people, you want to help, but I've learned got to use wisdom and discernment too, because sometimes it's not always what you're being presented with. So I just kind of proceed with caution.
Did you see that one talk on the one show? I forget what it's called, where the white lady was out there getting money at the McDonald's, and then she walked around the
With
corner.
her
They
car.
got into a brand new Jeep.
Yes, that's exactly where I was going with that. Wow, great minds think alike. But yeah, that's why I'm always cautious, you know. But some of them I've noticed that they'll bring the kids, you know, and then there's the ones that play the instruments and they have this box with them. And I mean, they're out there grooving, trying to raise money. And I saw even on the local news here that there's a scam with that. So I'm like, man, these people got all kind of hustles.
Well, we hear the little young boys be out there selling water, and they be so aggressive the way they run up to your car, and people be like, hold the fuck up, get back, cause you can't trust nobody nowadays.
So
Okay,
yeah.
okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, that they do that out here, like in the hood. Like they be selling waters and candies and stuff. But what I do find admirable is the ones there, and they be young. There be some kids. They be out there. They'll run to your car and try to wash your windows. And so me personally, I never really want my windows washed because my car be dirty, and it, like, to me, it defeats the purpose. But I never forget one day this little boy ran up to my car and he asked to do it, and I was like, nah, it's okay. But it was a little bitty boy out there with them, and my heart was just so compelled to give him something. And so I called him over to the car and I gave him a little $10 bill or whatever. And the other boy looked up and seen me give it to him, was like, I tried to wash your window, and I just smiled at him and just took off. But
see, that's part of the hustle with using those little ones to pull at your heartstrings.
Yeah.
No, boss.
Yeah, I mean, I'm naturally a giver, so I mean, I get it. Me personally, my thought process is, you know, you can't be God's given, and so I feel like when I pour into people, that God always blesses me. Just you know what I'm saying? Just for my benevolence. I look at those acts as like acts of benevolence, you know.
Well, I be trying to give, so you know what I do when I ain't got no money? I just give them a little head. I give them a little head, still giving. So doing my part.
Jesus Christ.
Why? They judge me. Judge our damn self. Look, April says my mod stick was gone for a while, and Mike explained why. I didn't feel no type of way, and it's some of his channels. I'm not a mod and still don't feel no type of way, and that's what I was trying to explain to. The one time I couldn't get in my channel, I could only go into it on StreamYard, so I wasn't able to give out mod sticks. And I'm telling you, it was certain people that gave me the fucking flux about it. And so what I did was able to give them out. I said, you know what? I'm not going to give you one because I don't want you to be that bent out of shape about it. I mean, was ugly about it. And I was like, over a mod stick? Come on. The hell? I'm mentioning your name. My panel is open to everyone. I would rather come on your panel than have a blue stick.
Well, that too is not normal behavior. Seriously.
No, not at all. So, El Chico, let me ask you this. If somebody was to ask you, what is your channel about? Like mine, somebody said, what is your channel? Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails, the 4 C's. What would your answer be?
It would be food, fun, family, and sometimes fitness, child. Nah, but on a serious, uh, no, seriously. But I mean, I kind of got like a family channel. Like I like to vlog my life. Honestly, like I'm a single mom. And so like I work 2 jobs. I'm in school for sociology. Like, you
And you gonna stay single as long as you dressing like a stud. But go ahead.
well, believe it or not, the niggas still come. But hey, look, that's neither here nor there. All right. But look, so yeah, I just trying to show people that, like regardless of what your life circumstances are, like you still could persevere, you still could, set goals and hit them, I be telling you, like, I'm from Compton. um and I say that a lot because I feel like people that's not from here, like they have this preconceived notion of what Compton is and what it looks like based off of movies. And I just be wanting to show people that we are not like that. Like it's more to us than boys in the hood and menace to society. You feel me? And so I don't know. I vlog my life. I be at church doing, I don't know, just a
Well,
vlog.
see, Detroit at one time used to get that same thing. When I was on the road doing gospel plays, and I'd be in a hotel room and I'd turn the TV on and look at the news. Every time they talked about Detroit, it would be so bad. I said, shit, I'm scared to go back to Detroit. And I lived there. That's how bad it made it seem. And I've never seen anybody get murdered. I've never seen anybody get shot. Wherever you go, it's not where you at, it's who you hang around. Period. And I try to tell people that all the time. Detroit is one of the nicest places. We stick. Well, I was about to say we stick together until the way these motherfuckers that did me from Detroit on YouTube. I'm just shocked. But for the most part, you can be anywhere. But if you hang around the wrong people, then the wrong thing's gonna happen.
Yeah, that is true. I've seen people get shot growing up, so I mean it just comes with being in that environment, right? But even still, like, my family is like, I was raised in the church, went to a private school, a Christian school at that. And I grew up and kind of like strayed away a little bit, like the prodigal son, probably like for a year or so. And God called me on back, and like 2011 I started preaching. And yeah. Like, you should have saw how Mike's face looked, because he's like, not you was on the live playing "Slut Me Out" last night. But no, seriously. So my whole like 20s, my 20s up to like 30s, like, was devoted to, like, being in church. I mean, I was at every revival, every service, every study. And so I'm not gonna hold you. I think when my dad passed away, I kind of like I kind of strayed away a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I still read my Bible. I still apply those things that I've learned. But I haven't been in the pulpit in a few years or what have you. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like Jonah. I feel like I'm running from my calling. And I know ultimately that, just like, God put Jonah where he wanted him to be, where he needed him to be. I feel like that's gonna happen, and it's like, either I'm gonna go, either I'm gonna surrender my will and go, or he gonna get me there. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just at a crossroad in my life, to where it's like, I know I need to make a decision of what I should be doing.
You know what? That's so ironic, because that's the same place. I mean, I remember years ago I was doing a gospel play, and it was a lot of gospel stars in that play, like Dottie Peoples and um, Reverend James Moore, one of the Clark sisters, um, one of the Winans, and they prayed. And the lady came up to me. She said one day, I mean, it's like she had fire in her eyes, and she was in a whole. Because I mean, they went in, and I grew up Catholic, so she was like, "One day you're gonna speak to the masses." And people always said, "You're gonna be in somebody's pulpit." And I would always say, until that little glass we got the handkerchief over it, until it's Hennessy and Coke in there, I don't think I'm. I used to just joke, but see, I was raised Catholic, and my great grandmother, she would pick you up whether your hair was combed or not. You went to church every Sunday. Even friends that spent the night over, they went to church. But I would, I'm suing the Catholic Church. You know why? Because I was an altar boy, and I was the only black altar boy, and he touched everybody else but me. So I'm suing for low self esteem. Because why did he touch me? Could nobody bend over and light a candle like me? So it really messed with me. But no, I'm just joking. I was not touched in the church, but we grew up Catholic. So, and this is another thing with me with the church. The Catholic Church helped the people more than the people helped the church. And I never knew that they passed a collection plate 3, 4, 5 times. If I didn't give it to you the first time, what the hell make you think I'm gonna give it to you the second time? And the how bold they be about the money. But that was so shocking. We didn't have no, you go to some churches, they have how many people they had in service last, how much money they collected, how much they expect to collect this month. The Catholic Church just was not like that. And that's because the government, like every person we fed in the soup kitchen, we got money for. We got money for feeding the people. The Catholic Church did bingo. Um, it was so many other ways they made money. And they didn't have to. You can go to the Catholic Church and say, I can't pay my rent. And they would pay your rent. And I know a friend that went to a church, paid her tithe faithfully, and the church denied her to pay her rent, but half her money was in that church. I had a friend, I said, if you had a light bill and your tithes was due, would you pay your light bill or pay your tithe? She was like, I'll pay my tithe because God will make a way. I said, he had already made a way when you had the money.
So, obviously, this conversation it can be controversial because, oh, he gone, child. I wanted him to be here for this.
Yeah. Well, before you start, can I tell you one thing?
Yeah.
Before it gets lost. When you were talking about you answering your calling, let me tell you,
Mhm.
like somebody told me, you can run and you can hide, but he knows your address.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm I'm sorry, y'all, I hit the wrong button. Say that again. What about this conversation?
Oh, I was saying that this conversation the topic is kind of controversial. Like I kind of stay away from church conversations on YouTube because I know a lot of people have been what they call church hurt,
yeah.
and they've seen things in the church that was not godly, right? And so, like my upbringing and my church, like we didn't have all that. We didn't have, the highest tither name on the side of what I'm saying. Now, don't mean I haven't seen it because we fellowship with other churches that might have done it. But what I watched and what I was brought up under, like we didn't do that. We had two offerings. One of the offerings was a benevolent offering, which was where the members would put $5 in there, and it was for those moments where if a person came off the street or if a member needed, needed a little assistance, that we had the resources to give to them, and then a lot of people say like, oh well, the church don't need tithes, but the church need to they need to pay their light bill, they got a gas
Yeah.
bill, like it takes money to run a church, at the end of the day. Like my pastors that we've had, they didn't get a salary. We gave a love offering. You get what I'm saying? Like, and so we didn't operate our church doesn't operate like most churches does, and so I have different sentiments when it comes to the church, and so I be so sad when I hear, these type of things, and how people perceive the church, when it's really churches out here that are trying to do the right thing by not only their members but also the community.
But if you look back, if you look at Martin Luther King, I seen a movie, a documentary where his daddy was a pastor. He literally called the guy out. He said, "You own that hardware store," and I mean, he talked about what he had given and that he could give more. And I was like, "Oh my God!" And I also said this: can I go to a church that don't need a new roof or a new boiler? It's all we did.
The building fund.
Yeah, the building fund. I'm like, oh my God. But yet, my church that I went to, and I'm gonna tell you, this is why I don't like mega churches either. But the one church I went to was kind of a big church, and I was on a food outreach program. I went to Bible study. I went to all 3 masses because I love the church so much, and I was just mediocre. But then they had this thing called Search for the One comedy contest. It was for clean comedy. And my church didn't even know I did comedy because I cussed like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. So some said, get into that. So I couldn't send in the video because all my videos I cussed. So I had to go that morning, the day of. It was about 50 comedians. And I went in there and they said, okay, we'll call to let you know if you're going to perform, if we pick you for the night. So some said, I just went and bought me an outfit anyway. I said, I'm going to keep the receipt in case. But as soon as I bought the outfit and I got in the car, they called me and said, yeah, you made it. So I get there to my church. We all in the back. I pulled number 17, which was kind of good. And so they was like, give it up for Citadel's own comedian Michael Allen. And I go out there, and my church members, my pastor, them look like, what? And they was only picking 2 comedians. They went to like 6 cities, and they picked 2 comedians from each city. My name was the first name they called, so I made it. And then we had the final in Orlando, Florida. So anyway, they picked me. Do you know, people started coming up to me in church, speaking to me. They took me in the back. I never knew that they had donuts and cake and stuff every Sunday that I had never been privy to. But since I won this contest, now I was really taken back. Like, I had to win something or, do something to stand out in order for me to see all these other perks. I really felt some type of way.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like I said, my church, they didn't believe in having like the no respecter of a person, and so like everybody was equal. And yeah, so yeah, like if a member like went to the hospital, like they would take up a benevolent offering for them. If their family member passed away, like not only would we we would do like the repast. We would go to we'll go to their homes and like take food. Like I don't know, like even when it comes to like we have like food ministries and stuff, like every year, like for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we give Thanksgiving baskets and Christmas baskets with turkeys and hams. And we give over at least 300. That'd be the goal to provide. Yes, we would give brand new bikes to the kids, and that came out of our church finances. Like, like to over 200 bikes every year, to kids. Like, and so, yeah, we're really big on the community. And so, like I said, when it comes to these conversations, like I cannot just sit and not speak up for those local congregations that are really, about God's business. Oh, he dropped again, child.
You gotta love it, right?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
technology. That sounds like y'all have this is a church you're still attending or that you've attended?
Yeah, no, I still attend the church.
If I hit the wrong button one more time, y'all, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I still attend the church. we're under new leadership. We have a new pastor, and so it's taken me a little while to adjust because the prior pastor was my aunt, and so when she passed away, it kind of really it hurt me. So like I've gotten to a place where I could go back to church and be there and not be sad, but
Mm.
I think that she has some big shoes to fill, and
Wow.
the pastor that we have now, like he's not as present as I would like him to be. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm trying to get past those feelings. You know.
Yeah, I understand. Does your church have a board?
Yeah, we do. We have a leadership board. I'm a part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Now, look, I will say this. One of the reasons I love to give, because this happened to me. Um, the lady reached out to me on YouTube. She was like, "Look, hey, we're giving out Thanksgiving baskets," and she said your name came up, and I was wondering. She said, "Would you do it?" She said, "But you don't get paid for it." I said, "Sure." She said, "Oh my God." She said, every other comedian I asked wanted to charge. Then I was like, hold up, what you mean every other comedian? So I was last? But anyway, I said, sure. She said, we'll give you a certificate and you can write it off on taxes too. I said, okay. So then she called me back the next day. She said, do you have any family members that need baskets? We'll give them. So I gave her like five of my family members. I went, and this was displaced family. I think we had a flood or something that had happened. And when I looked at them baskets and all the expensive stuff was in there, I was like, hell, can I get one? I wanted one. But so I did it. It was beautiful. My family got their baskets. That next day, some lady that was there called me. She said, look, we're having a wine tasting event, and we're looking for a comedian, and we enjoyed you. Would you do it? And she said, what do you charge? And I said, well, you have to talk to my manager. My cousin was my manager because nobody take you seriously if you dealing with them personally. So they gave the money. I think it was like $400. I wasn't even a whole hour of comedy. So we get in there, and it was so elegant and so high class. The food I had never tasted, and y'all know I'm a cook. And we would taste the wine. They had these big buckets on each table. Me and my cousin had no idea you were supposed to taste the wine and spit it out. We drank everything. So I am tipsy by the time I got up there. But that was God showing me favor. He said, because you, with no hesitation, you said, I'll do it for free. I'm going to bless you for it. And so then I'm one of those people that you got to give in order to get. I've always been that way.
Yeah, that's what's up. And that's how he works, man. That's definitely how he works.
Yeah, I used to just like even when I worked in the soup kitchen, and a lot of their food was donated from a place called Gleaners. Do you know me and Miss Jones and the other lady? We would go and take money out of our own pockets and make real mashed potatoes or give them really home cooked meals, and jazz it up. And they was like, people like we worked only on Mondays. They had different people each day of the week, and they would always tell us, "Oh, we love y'all the most." Oh, when they would sit me down, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know we finna eat good," and I enjoyed seeing their faces. I enjoyed giving them. I enjoyed them saying, "Oh my God, this food is good." I thought, I think that's why God has blessed me throughout my life because I started doing that when I was like 15. And I did that until I was in my mid 20s. Late, I worked at the bingo. I did the outreach program. So a lot of people know me from my clapback and all that, but they don't get it. I lift people up much more than I've ever had to let anybody have it. They just see that on here, but yeah. In my real life, it depends. Did you see that day I was just talking about this the other day. I was in the grocery store, and a lady came up to me. She was like, "Excuse me, I'm trying to get some food to eat tonight and blah, 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 my bridge card." And I said, I want to say, well, what made you come to me and ask me? But anyway, I said, okay. And so I got it. It was maybe about $30. I got it. And then she was like, I'm not even gonna lie, I would love a beer. And I just bust out laughing. And I said, girl, go ahead and get you two and get me two. And I paid it. And I feel good when I do that, when I'm able to do it. I really feel good. So I think that that's why me doing that is why my subscribers look out for me the way they do. And I think a lot of people have a problem with that, but that's on them. But yeah, you got to, and then God will bless everybody around you just to see how you react. You always wonder why it's always their season. There, because you know why it's their season? Because He's not going to give you a season because you ain't happy for nobody. Because when it's your season, you don't want everybody to be happy for you. I love to applaud people when they accomplish something or they get in ahead. A lot of people will not do that. You gotta, like you said, with how you paid the person. That was such a profound, beautiful story. How you paid the person's stuff and then the person paid yours.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. It feels good to do good, but kind of like what we were saying earlier, sometimes you got to be careful because of the scammers that are out there. You just got to be careful. But I normally, you know, I go by what God lays on my heart. If He tells me to do it, then I just go ahead and follow through. Um, and there's sometimes where I'm getting nope, don't do it.
Look, do you remember when they had that challenge? I'll pay for the person's stuff behind you in the drive-through. And so look, somebody paid for ours, and I was like, okay. I said we're gonna pay for that. I said how much? They was like 50 for $3. We said, oh, okay. Well, we'll pay it next time because that was a bit much. 52 damn dollars, and it was only one person in the car. I was like, what the hell?
Maybe,
Have
maybe
you?
they were buying for their family or their office or their friends they were hanging out with.
Well, I just didn't have $52 to give up that day.
Yeah.
I had to clock out for work, but I wanted to share a story. Like it was like kind of like geared towards what we was just talking about. So like my dad wasn't a member of our church, right? But he worked for the food bank. Like he would come and well he worked for our food, just like he would come and volunteer for the food distribution. So he'd go to the food bank, with a group of other people, and they would come package up the food, and they would distribute it out every week. And so anyways, I would go up to the church and I would see his truck would be loaded with stuff, and I would be like, Daddy, you got to stop stealing. Like I was looking at it like, you stealing from the church, because like I would hear like the little whispers from like some of the church members, and they wouldn't say my dad name, but like they would be saying how like some of the people in the food bank would keep stuff for themselves and not give it all to the church, blah blah. So me, I didn't want nobody saying nothing about my daddy, so I'm telling him like, Dad, you need to stop, and he's like, all right, girl, all right, all right, all right. So this is how God humbled me though, because when he died, now like I said, my dad he didn't go to church. He wasn't like he listened to gospel music here and there, but he wasn't like every Sunday type of dude. So anyways, at his funeral, it was so many people there, and when they gave time for people to come and share like little 2-minute remarks, it was so many people that got up there that like were his neighbors and stuff, and they just shared and talked about how he always would come and bring his neighbors food, and how like they would go without most times, but they knew that my daddy was gonna come and bring food. And so to me, like, that's ministry. Like, and here I am trying to get in God's business, because I don't want nobody to talk about my daddy, not even knowing that he was like out there, like really, having his own little ministry when it came to providing food to like his surrounding neighbors. So yeah, man, I just thought that was like pretty awesome, man.
Well, that's just like the Goodwill. Those people that work there, they would take the good stuff first, and then put the other stuff. But that is just, you know, some people that's just in their nature. I could never do that because, I would buy it. I would buy it. They just take it. I would buy it if that was the case.
Right.
But you have a lot of people that do that because when I worked for the Food Outreach Ministry, and they did the same thing. The one lady I caught her my eye. She was like, "Here, you better pick you out what you want now before they come in." And I said, "Huh? We
Yeah.
volunteer." Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't stand when people, when they do that, because it's like even like how you were saying, like they gave you the Christmas, or gave your family the Christmas baskets. So like if you come and you volunteer at my church and help put the bags together and help pass the baskets out, they'll sit one aside for you as a worker. And so when it came to my basket, like I'll always just take it, but I'll go give it to like my neighbor. So I just moved into my apartment like two years ago. And like I would bring the landlord one home. They don't even know me from a hole in the wall. But they know like, oh, she's gonna get, like, even because I work at a soul food restaurant. And so like, if people don't come pick their orders up, the food will just go in the trash can. So what I'll do is I'll just bring the food home. If my son, because he over the soul food, so I'll give it to my neighbors, and they just be so happy, like, to get the meal.
So do you cook?
At the restaurant.
Yeah.
Hell no, they got Mexicans in there cooking, child.
The Mexicans cooking soul food.
Yes.
Stop it. My God.
Hey, listen, I ain't even gonna hold you. I only eat the meat. I don't touch them sides, child. I'll be looking at the peach cobbler like it ain't not no soul in this peach cobbler, child. But the people, they come and eat it, they buy it, and that stuff is expensive.
That's just like when we go to we got y'all have Benihana's?
Yeah,
Here it be all black people working. I be like, ain't none one of these niggas. You would think it would be Oriental people or something like that, but it'd be all black people up in there working. I be like, they didn't taught y'all how to flip some rice and pluck up, and roll some eggs on the grill. But I love Benihana's though. I love me some Benihana. That's the first place I ever ate soft shell crab where you can eat the whole crab deep fried. Just, oh my God, so delicious. Matter of fact, Force again, can y'all send me Benihana's when I get out of here?
So when do you think you're getting out? Did they tell you?
Hopefully tomorrow. But they're trying to see my foot. They're trying to make my foot heal on its own because they thought I was gonna need operation. But she just came in here and said no. So I have to, even though when I get out of here, I got to still keep this on my foot. I hate that. I hate that because I feel like I got a boot on that I want to take off. And it's a splinter, it's half a cast is what it's called. And yes, I look, but I've been in here I just had I had the 5-hour surgery.
Right. But how do you feel from?
Say that again.
I said, how do you feel from that surgery? Like, is that better?
No, I think that's one of the reasons I can't eat like I used to. I think they gave me a gastric bypass surgery. That's how I feel. Because they said my stomach was the honey had pushed my stomach up into my chest. And I had no idea. All I was doing was hiccuping. And I kept wondering, why am I hiccuping so much? Miss Smith said, I like Benihana. I love Benihana's. But I kept hiccuping. And so I went in because now I was having a little, not bad stomach pain. And so when I went in there, they was like, they did the x-ray and everything. They was like, okay, we're going to admit you in the hospital and we're doing emergency surgery. I was like, what? I said, what you mean? I ain't no hernia. We're gonna put a little band so it won't go up. But I think them putting that little band to get my the band's supposed to dissolve, but it's keeping it from going up there. So now I can't eat like I want to, and that frustrates me because I am a foodie. I love to eat. I love to eat,
Oh,
and
okay. Well,
it's just
later.
I did eat the hell out the seafood boil though. That didn't stop me. That went down with no problem. Cause like now when I eat, I have to burp before I can eat again, or I feel like it's not going. I have to give it time to digest, and that is
Mm,
yeah, and to get something so good like that, they had macaroni and cheese here yesterday. It tastes like macaroni and cheese from the house. It was so good, but I had to eat it so slow, and I was so mad.
mm,
Just like now, I got some barbecue chicken breasts, string beans, and sweet potatoes. I ate some of that, and then I felt like a girl with what they call anorexic,
anorexic. No, no,
not
no.
a
He just
eating
bulimic.
bulimia. Oh, bulimia.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. I was trying to eat and then throw it up to keep my figure.
Oh my. Well, speaking of food, I'm about to go make me a salad and eat my lunch. But
Okay.
it's been a
I,
good conversation.
yeah, I enjoyed it when you came up here. Did you? I like to. I see you said you enjoyed the conversation about um, whooping your kids and all of that. I try to do different things.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I could definitely partake in those conversations. I don't, when it comes to them other ones, I'll probably drop down because I don't get it. I don't do
You
all
know
that.
what? It's been so long since I even do that. But you still have people that will come up here and still try to take it that way, and I have to kind of bring it on back. But that's just what it is. Because I let anybody up, long as it's not something. It has to be in the direction I'm taking my channel.
Yeah, I got
It
it.
has to be
All
because
right.
I think
Well,
I got a calling on my life too. I really believe it.
yeah. Well, listen. He
Okay,
got a
well,
plan for us all. All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day.
okay, lesbian. Thank you for coming up, stud. No,
Yeah.
I look. I
I ain't
look.
about to play with you. Nah. Chill on that, bro. You crazy.
Wait, I
Oh my
looked at the
god.
video 3 times. I listened to the video 3 times. I said, "What is she giving?"
Yeah. Hey, look. I'm just comfortable in my skin. That's all. It's cool.
I appreciate you coming when you come up. I really enjoy you every time you do come up. You're always welcome.
All right. Thank you.
All right, baby. All right. Okay, y'all. We had some good conversation. I think Upward must have got a phone call that whenever she bows out. What they say? What's my favorite line? Bow out gracefully. Um, yeah, I'm giving me some Benihana's, y'all. I got a taste for it. I think I can some soft shell crabs that they deep fry, and you could just eat the whole thing. Oh my god! Oh, oh, I went to one time by myself. I did. That's when I was doing a video for Facebook, and my bill came in at $74 just for me. Of course, along with my cocktails, and I ordered lobster. I think when you go, you should splurge. Why not splurge? That's why it's kind of easy for me to be single because I ain't got to pay nobody else's thing or. But yeah, I think. Did y'all enjoy this live? Did y'all enjoy the live? Did y'all enjoy this live? We've been on here almost 3 hours. Was this a good live? I think I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Did y'all enjoy it? Let me know. Drop a microphone. Drop a microphone or drop a cash app, one or the other. Let me know. What? It's a business. Shawanda enjoyed. Okay. Shawanda dropped the microphone. Yes. I love when we can just talk and it be of substance. Substance. You can learn some things from it. You see how other people feel and how other people think. Um, the church part was good. Thank you, Shawanda, for putting up my cash app. Um, that's why I want this channel to go. I want this channel to go into more of a positive direction. You know, sometimes we're gonna slip a little bit and teeter on the other end, but we always gonna bring it right on back. And all we can, Miss Smith said, yes, okay. All we can do is keep on trying. We may fail sometime, but we ain't gonna never stop trying. We're gonna let it be more about God and less about us, more about positivity and less about the negativity. I feel so much better. I don't feel drained when I get off of here. You know, it takes too much energy to go at folk all the time. Hell, I don't have to go at them anytime. But people will always take April through the microphone. Okay, April. But you know, Alice in Wonderland, was she in here tonight? Was Alice in here? You know, Alice is my girl too. Okay. Um, my second wife said yes, 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 yes. But we're gonna continue to do more like this. And look, y'all know y'all are my pussy gang. If y'all see me going a little left, say stop it, bring it on back, or whatever the case, we bring it on back. I'm open to that. Y'all know that. Over here, you have a voice. You can let me know your opinion, whether I agree with it or not. But know that you always be heard over here. Um, I want the people to leave this channel feeling good. I want the people to leave this channel being a little more enlightened about a certain subject or something like that, you know. Um, and y'all help me just as much as maybe I make y'all laugh or whatever it is I do for you guys. But we will always do cooking, cussing, comedy, and cocktail. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. Cooking, comedy, cussing, and cooking, comedy, cussing, and cocktails. What? Don't judge us. Judge your damn self. Okay, y'all know it's a business. Well, I love saying that because I know people like to repeat that. You know it's a business, so support the channel. I ain't on here for my health. I'm on here for a little teeny wealth. And y'all pray for me as I will pray for y'all. I pray for you. You pray for me. I need you to survive. Next time, Miss Smith, I will be getting maybe I have my other phone charged by then. I'll be playing that Kim. Oh, that was a beautiful song. I think people need to hear that. All right, y'all. So with all that being said, I want y'all to have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your evening. I may come back on tonight because I still got to eat dinner. Look, y'all, let me show y'all my lunch. Hold on, let me show you lunch and show y'all that I have not eaten any of it. But if it's something I really, really like, I'm sure I would tear it up. I would tear it up. But see, this really wasn't what I really, really liked, I guess. Y'all see that? That's chicken breast. I don't like chicken breast. I would have liked my mashed potato circle with some cherry and more brown sugar and butter and string beans. So I put some butter in there. You needed just a little more sugar. Miss Smith, would you say great? Yes. Yeah, and this chicken is just not it, y'all. Chicken not it. My sister gave me something to get pizza, but I'm not feeling pizza right now. I'm not. I think what I'm gonna do is get the corned beef again because that corned beef was everything. Do y'all hear me? It was everything. But if I order, I gotta see if somebody's gonna go downstairs to get it. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. Thank y'all for always supporting me. Thank y'all for always coming over out your busy day to take time to chill with little old me, little old hospitalized me. I enjoy it, and that shows you how good God is. Y'all be in the trenches with me. Y'all be in the trenches with me. Y'all never waver, and I love that. I love that so much. And I think I got so many condoms. Y'all know what? I'm taking all these condiments home. I'm taking all the condiments home because I got 4 condiments with salt, butter, pepper. What? I'm frugal. I'm a food hoarder and I'm frugal. Okay, with that being said, y'all have a wonderful, blessed. It's only 3:30. Dinner be coming soon. So if I don't like that dinner, I'll be ordering something. And I'll bring you guys along on the ride. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Do look like I'm losing weight, y'all. Because I'm not eating right. Do it look like I'm losing weight? Well, and I still got this on my damn leg. I want this off so bad, y'all. All I want to do is wash my foot. Get dressed. See you later. I will, Miss Smith. I just want to I want to wash my foot, and I can't. I never had a cast. I mean, anything like that on my foot, and I always did want some, but not at 56. Is that weird? I always had one as a cast, but not at 56. Damn it! I wanted it at 13 or 14. But you got to be careful what you ask for. God does everything in His time, and He's a God of decency and in order. In order. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm gonna lay my ass down. Oops, lay my butt down for a minute. I had to brush my teeth first, though. But all right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. Comedian Michael Allen. I'm out. Peace.